What's going on? Me, Son here, and today I'm going to be talking about Jennifer Lawrence's last movie, or latest movie, that is, Red Sparrow. Now, it opened to $18 million at the box office, which was, outside of Mother, that was a big disaster, though I thought that was a great movie. That was like one of her worst openings. But, it's made $83.6 million on a $9 million budget in 2 weeks, so I believe it's going to make its money back. But for what it's worth, I believe it's a great movie. Now, I know it's more split down the middle, but at the same time, I really enjoyed it, and I'm going to discuss right now why. So, the movie is basically this really cool taunt thriller, and stars Jennifer Lawrence as Dominika Igorova. And Dominika, is this amazing prima ballerina, elegant, gorgeous, graceful, stunning, and she's doing this amazing dance of this amazing ballet performance. And she has a horrible, horrible accident. And she breaks her legs horribly, twists her legs really horribly, and she's left to be basically on a walking cane about 2 or 3 months later. And on the mend, she's working with her mom. She's kind of keeping her mom sane through all of this. It shows early on that she really cares about her mom. By the way, spoilers. And she finds out that her boyfriend has been cheating on her with another ballerina. Her boyfriend being a ballet dancer as well. So what does she do? Goes to the ballet hall, finds them in the shower, and kills them both in cold blood. And that was obviously very shocking, but it's kind of just the turn of events that kind of shows who this character really is, and that she's really been just repressing her shadow all along, and that's what drew me to this movie, was the shadow aspect of this character coming to light. Because, as one can imagine, being a ballet dancer is a tough life, being a professional one. It's like being an athlete, really, but even more, harder, because you gotta be graceful with it as well. I mean, you gotta be great as an athlete, but ballet dancers, if you look at ballet, a lot of the things that ballet is based off of or inspired by are these Himalayan goats who jump from mountainside to mountainside on their toes, essentially. And ballet dancers are dancing on their toes. If you look at a movie like Black Swan, while that was an exaggeration, obviously, you can kind of see the pressure that that character's going through, and you gotta believe that at least some of that was real as far as what an actual ballet dancer go through. And Dominika is probably no exception. She's probably had to live her life a certain way, be a certain way, be seen a certain way. And now that she's not dancing anymore, she feels that she can kind of let her shadow side come out. So as the movie goes on, her uncle comes to her. Her uncle's named Ivan, and offers her to join the government, the Russian government, and the Russian government agency, and become a spy. So her first mission, she has to seduce this one powerful dude, and she ends up getting raped. He didn't get too far with it, but he got raped. She got raped, I should say. So what's the deal here? She's obviously traumatized with this at first, but the turn of events afterwards is kind of amazing. So she goes to the Sparrow School, and she has to basically, not even basically, she straight up has to become property of the government. That is the whole deal. That's the whole thing about it. She has to become property of the government. And because of that, it's interesting to see the changes she has to go through with this. Because, as you can imagine, this is not necessarily what she wanted. She was used to living this artsy life. She was used to being someone who is seen and respected as a beautiful, elegant woman, and now she basically has to do whatever she's told to do. If the guy that she's investigating wants to have sex with her, she has to do it. There's actually a scene later on where one of the other agents tries to rape her in the shower, and she she beats the shit out of him in the shower. And as punishment, the head mistress makes her have to have sex with him in the front of this whole entire school. Now, what she does is really cool, and this really shows her going to her shadow aspect, is that the guy tries to have sex with her from behind, but she's like, nope. She goes forward, takes all of her clothes, and has a strong stance. He's like, come on. And he can't get it up. He just can't get it up. Which showed that he just wanted power. And she took that away from him. And that's really all about going to that shadow side. Carl Jung, who came up with the whole shadow theory, was that basically shadow side of us is our repressed side. It's what we've repressed. It's our darker side and things that we don't like about ourselves and aspects that we kind of put away. And you can imagine this character is very repressed. This character has had to kind of do things by the book her whole entire life. So being able to be in this world, in this espionage world, have to do all these crazy things all of a sudden, is in a way you can imagine it being freeing for her. Being able to just have to have sex on a whim, be able to kill people and torture people. That is her expressing her dark side, her shadow side, and she's getting to do it in a way that's quote unquote serving her country. Now she meets the CIA agent Nate Nash, played by Joel Edgerton, very well played by Joel. And you see their relationship being one of their interesting, because this is where she kind of shows her more softer, more normal side, if you will. But even then, she still kind of succumbs to her shadow side, because that's really what this whole movie is about. Is Dominica basically becoming someone who, instead of just putting on airs straight up for people, is more than not basically living up to her own expectations, doing what she wants to do, uh, going up to her desires. And what a lot of people don't realize is sometimes your desires are straight up dark. Sometimes what you want is kind of evil and fucked up. But in this society, obviously, we like to judge and moralize everything. I'm not saying killing is right, because it's not. But there are people who do desire that. And that's a reality, but there's no way to really express that, really. But she gets the chance to express that, and she goes full bore with that. And as you can see at the end of the movie, she really goes to different lengths to express that, and lives in it, and kind of loves it. And it's a very interesting character arc, because you see this woman who starts off as a girl, basically, just a little girl, and blossoms, essentially, even though it may not be in the way you would typically expect, which is why I think this movie hasn't done as well. It's not a typical Jennifer Lawrence movie. It's a very serious taunt thriller that's very dark, very, very dark. And it shows really the darkest side of humanity, and I don't know if people were necessarily ready for this. But it was very well made, very well done, and it makes you think about, what if you were in her situation? How would you react? Would you go as far as she did? And even before she was drafted, she already killed 2 people in the shower and really didn't seem to blink much of an eye about it. She's a very cool character in this movie, too. Suppresses a lot of emotion. I mean, she has some crazy moments towards the end when she's getting tortured, but she's a very cold and calculating character, which is perfect for a spy / assassin. And that's what makes her such an interesting character, is that, wow, she's still feminine, and she has these sweet scenes with Nate Nash. Dominica is very cold and callous and calculating, and and that's what makes her great at what she does. And while it's interesting to find out, like, what is her true self? Is she who she is when she's with Nate, or is she who she is when she's basically being a spy, or is it neither? And that's another whole thing about identity and whatnot. And that's another reason why this movie is definitely worth a watch. Now, like I said, I know this movie's been split down the middle as far as reviews, but I think it's a great movie for what it's worth. Very interesting. Kind of a slow movie, but that's what makes it great, because you can really go into this character, and it's a lot of fun. So, anyway, that's it for tonight. If you like this video, like it, comment, subscribe, and I'll see y'all next